Well, for decades, people have been excited about the potential of artificial intelligence to revolutionize businesses, industries, and really society. And in recent times, innovative products like ChatGPT have captured the world's imagination, and they're expected to transform the way we buy and sell and invest in real estate. Joining me now and sharing more is the General Counsel Professional Standards Administrator at Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors. Try saying that twice. Brian Levine.
Hey,
Brian, good to have you.
Thanks for having me. Thank you
Listen,
very much.
we were talking in the other segment about traffic, right?
Right.
And how traffic has really been impacted, traffic lights, all of that. You bring over real estate and it becomes a whole nother world. I mean, when you talk about artificial intelligence, it's just making its way all across the board.
It is. It's taken over the industry right now. It does everything from chatbots. You think you're talking to a human being, but you're talking to a computer.
Right.
They're doing property listings, so realtors are no longer have to worry about listing their properties. It just creates it for them. It does marketing materials. It schedules appointments. It does virtual tours. It can pretty much do everything that a realtor can do.
Yeah. So when we look at real estate, the benefits, let's talk about the pros and cons, right? What are the benefits for, seeing AI in the real estate market?
Well, one of the biggest benefits is that it allows the realtor to do their job, which is the boots on the ground. They can get out, they can meet, they can greet, they can talk to people. And that's one of the greatest benefits for a realtor, because now they're not trapped behind the desk writing brochures, doing mailers, answering the phone. So that's one of the greatest things that it has. And it's also one of the greatest things because of the speed at which, if anybody's been on ChatGPT, it can spit out so much information so quickly because it scrubs the universe of what it knows. So that's one of the greatest pros. However, there's a lot of cons that come along with it. Number one, things like ChatGPT, it stopped training itself in September of 2021. So that means its brain stops in 2021. So that means it's already outdated. Second biggest drawback is it doesn't know what it doesn't know. So that means that if there's something outside the universe of the internet, it doesn't realize it's there. So for the realtor industry, one of the problems is we utilize a system that's called the multiple listing service. It is like Zillow on steroids. ChatGPT and AI doesn't see it because it's proprietary. So when it starts spitting out information, it doesn't have the best information that's out there. One of the third cons is it doesn't understand the concept of fair housing. So there are certain trigger words that are out there. Words like walk to worship, child-friendly, seniors. Those are all protected classes. AI doesn't understand that. Well, at least it doesn't understand it yet. So AI is trained. So in that training process, I always use the analogy, Max the dog. So we can all train Max the dog to do things, and Max starts to figure things out because it's trained and gives these opportunities. However, if AI isn't trained correctly and humans aren't perfect, then Max isn't going to get trained correctly. And Max is going to maybe have some inherent biases that are historical, which we're really trying to change. And a lot of those historical biases are fair housing and diversity related.
Yeah, we hear that conversation quite frequently when the issue of real estate AI comes up. There's also the talk, and let's talk about this, the loss of human jobs here.
Well, I don't think we're really going to lose human jobs. I think there's going to be a transition. Realtors are always going to be, as I said before, they're going to be the boots on the ground. They're going to be the ones that people are going to get out and meet. People knock on doors, people come in. People want human relationships. Realtors are never going to go away. They're going to have to retrain themselves. They're going to have to learn how to do those things like proofreading, ensuring that fair housing is being satisfied, making sure that copyrights are being enforced and copyrights aren't being abused. So they're just going to have to retrain themselves. But realtors, they're not going anywhere anytime fast.
Job security.
Yep, it's always going to be there.
That's it. I love it. But how do we ensure that things go right? What can we do, knowing that we have AI out there as, a realtor body? What do we do to say, hey, we got to make sure things stay in the right direction here. What do we do?
Well, we need to have up. I always use the bowling alley. For those that aren't very good at bowling, you have those little bumpers that come up on the side. Well, realtors need to establish those bumpers. So it's internal. Number one, our federal government needs to catch up, and our state government needs to catch up to create those bumpers to say what is going to happen with the use of AI. And right now, the law hasn't caught up with AI. AI is leaps and bounds ahead. So we're trying to play catch up right now with what's going on with AI. Real estate agents need to be hyper aware of the rules and regulations, whether it comes to copyright, fair housing, discrimination. And real estate companies need to establish their own protocols for in-house handling of AI.
Productivity and efficiency, how do you feel about it?
I think it's super productive. I think it's great, but there's going to be a transition to the efficiencies of what a realtor is going to have to do going forward.
Right. But I think we talked about this at the beginning when you said there is an expiration date when it comes to AI. You talk about 2021. Now you've got this whole situation of we're in 2023, bring us up to speed. Is there going to be a curve here where we're going to have to, make some adjustments?
That's all up to the technology people, the Steve Jobs, the Elon Musks of the world. I don't know where it's going to go. I think ultimately what you're going to see is that you're going to see another jump in AI in the near future. But we're not there yet because we're just starting to learn how to use it and benefit it at this point in time.
Right. So what's the conversations you guys have been having?
Conversations about how to use AI.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge because a lot of people are scared.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to use it. They don't know how to use it. Now, I use it all the time. I jump on ChatGPT, and I was just telling you earlier during the break, I said I wanted to go to Chicago. I said, set me up a 3-day itinerary involving museums, the river, and Lollapalooza. And it gave me hotels and restaurants and everything. And it's very easy to use. So the agents need to immerse themselves into it. There is now virtual technology that's out there. They can utilize virtual technology to zoom in and almost take your client into the house without actually being there. And it creates that great comfort zone. It can tell you the exact square footage of a house, create that house, and make it look beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a lot to pay attention to.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah. So where do you go? Where do you go from here?
I don't know. I'm going back to work. That's where I'm going from here.
Yeah. Well, Brian, it's good to have you. Thank you.
Thanks
good conversation.
So much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Brian Levine. Now, listen, if you want more information, visit the website at hgar.com and then follow them on Twitter at Hudson Gateway. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to need your notes on Chicago, too, by the way. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open coming up right after this.